Namaskar. Thank you for joining us here on Express News. I'm Mark Lynn. Let's begin. Relief and rescue operations on a massive scale are ongoing in India's southern state of Kerala. This after massive landslide struck Wayanad district on Tuesday. The official records put the death toll at more than 300. The numbers can still go up. Rescue teams are working tirelessly under challenging conditions to look for survivors of the disaster despite the difficult terrain and destroyed infrastructure. A C-130J Super Hercules of the Indian Air Force with a specialized drone and a team have been sent to Calicut. This drone will be sent to Wayanad to assist in the rescue operations. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 32nd International Conference of Agricultural Economists to be held on the 3rd of August in New Delhi. The event will focus on sustainable agri-food systems and India's advancements in agriculture. Triennial conference will be held from August 2 to August 7. India's Ministry of External Affairs briefed on the visit of the President of India, President Murmu's visit to Fiji, New Zealand and Timor-Leste from August 5 to 10. The ministry said that President Murmu will hold bilateral meetings with the heads of state from all three countries and will also address the Indian community during her visit. The visit will significantly advance India's diplomatic efforts in the Indo-Pacific area. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar delivered the 7th Jasjit Singh Memorial Lecture at the Centre for Air Power Studies, or the CAPS, in New Delhi. The EAM Jaishankar said multipolarity is still in its early stages and is unevenly developed, and it is imperfectly evolved. India's Central Investigation Agency has in fact filed its first charge sheet under the various sections of the IPC against 13 accused in the NEET UG paper leak case in the central state of Bihar. The agency continued further investigation against other accused and suspects on other aspects of the case. A fresh batch of 1,221 pilgrims left for the Amarnath Cave Shrine on Friday morning amid tight security. The pilgrims left the base camp in the cavalcade of 54 vehicles, and the annual holy pilgrimage is going to culminate on the 19th of this month. According to data released by the National Payments Corporation of India, UPI transactions reached a record high for the month of July. So as per the report, the UPI transactions have surged 35% year-on-year basis. The total month-on-month based transactions grew 4%, amounting to 14.44 billion transactions in July. The average daily transaction volume stood at 466 million. The World Trade Organization's Trade Statistics 2023 report said that India retains the 8th position in the global agriculture exports in 2023 despite a drop in its agricultural exports. As per those reports, among the top 10 farm exporters, only Brazil, the EU, Thailand have increased exports in 2023. Japan's Nikkei 225 index closed down 5.81% on Friday in the steepest one-day drop since March 13, 2020. The tumble brought it below 36,000 levels. The Indian benchmark indices ended lower on August 2. At close, the Sensex was down 1.08% at 80,981.95. The Nifty 2 was down 1.17%. It closed at 24,717.70. The Indian rupee ended at 83.74 per dollar on Friday. The gold rates were trading at rupees 69,910 per 10 grams on August 2. The silver was at 83,914 per kilogram, rupees that is, on Friday. And the United States and Russia have completed a 24-person prisoner swap on Thursday, the largest in post-Soviet history, with Moscow releasing Wall Street Journal reporter Ivan Gershkovich and fellow American Paul Whelan. The West, including the United States, released 16 Russian nationals, while Russia released 8 people. U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris greeted freed Americans as they arrived at the joint Andrews base in Maryland. Biden termed the swap as a new feat of diplomacy and friendship, while Harris called the deal an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy. The White House hailed the historic East-West prisoner swap. It said no money was exchanged and no sanctions were loosened to facilitate the deal. Russian President Putin also met the returnees as they arrived and thanked them for their loyalty towards the country. The U.S. President Joe Biden, in a phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, discussed new U.S. defense military deployments in support of Israel against threats. Meanwhile, Iran officials and the country's regional allies from Lebanon, Iraq and Yemen, they held a meeting on Thursday after the killing of the Hamas leader in Tehran. Tehran region is in fact at risk of a widened conflict between Iran, Israel and Iran's proxies after Ismail Haniyeh's assassination. Israel's National Security Council has also warned Israelis to exercise extra caution while traveling abroad. The terror group Hezbollah has fired dozens of rockets towards Israeli territory in the late hours of Thursday. The Israeli Defense Forces said that there was no damage or casualties. They added only 5 of the barrage of rockets could enter Israel and the rest were intercepted. In response, the Israeli forces struck at Hezbollah rocket launcher in southern Lebanon's Yatar, which was in fact being used as a fire barrage at western Galilee. Amid the ongoing tension, Air India on Friday said that it suspended its flights to and from Tel Aviv in Israel with immediate effect. The flight operations are suspended up to August 8th. That's what Air India said, while saying it's monitoring the situation. The Indian Embassy has issued 2 advisories within almost 12 hours for its nationals, both in Lebanon and other places close by, over potential threats. It asked Indians to leave Lebanon and to avoid non-essential travel to the country. Now, as the political unrest in Venezuela continues over the poll results, more leaders have called on the country to release detailed voting tallies. The presidents of Brazil, Mexico, Colombia have called on Venezuela to release the tally details as the dispute over the presidential election results has sparked protests. The United States government has announced that it is recognizing opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the winner of the Venezuelan presidential election. The former U.S. President Trump has declared the selection of J.D. Vance, the senator from the United States, as running mate. He said that it's not going to impact the 2024 White House race much. Police in Nigeria have been put on red alert on Friday after the protests turned violent in some cities, leaving at least 3 people dead. 3 states in Nigeria have imposed curfews after protests against the government turned violent. Thousands of people took part in demonstrations demanding reforms to address current economic struggles. Russian aviation units conducted patrols with special dummy munitions as part of nuclear drills on Friday. The missile units practiced installing special dummy warheads on launch vehicles. Germany officially joined the US-led United Nations Command in South Korea on Friday. The move is a clear sign of Berlin's commitment to peace and security in the Indo-Pacific region. At least 11 people died in a fire at a building in the Philippines capital on Friday. The cause of the fire is still unknown. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us.
This summer, the world turns its eyes to Paris, and DD India brings you every heartbeat, every victory, and every story. Introducing our special coverage of the Paris Olympics. Experience the passion, the drama, and the triumphs. With exclusive reports, expert analysis, and up-to-the-minute updates. Join us as we bring the spirit of the Olympics to your screens.
Get ready for the ultimate sporting extravaganza on DD India.
DD India presents Champions Day Paris. Only on DD India. Every day at 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Let's continue. Now, for the first time, Chile's capital has seen its first rainless July on record. A huge wildfire engulfed California that has burnt more than 600 square miles. As of Thursday, nearly 6,000 firefighters are battling this blaze. A prolonged drought continues to bite, and the summer heat pounds Spain. The intense heat wave in Spain, with temperatures soaring above seasonal averages, has further strained the country's resources and energy infrastructure. Heavy rain floods Pakistan's second largest city, Lahore, after monsoon rains had reportedly broken all records. The India Meteorological Department on Thursday predicted normal to above normal rainfall in parts of the country in the second half of the monsoon season. Extreme heavy rains and a red alert has been forecast in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, also another state, for the next 5 days. The weather department has also warned of heavy rains over India's western state of Gujarat. A heavy overnight downpour triggered flooding and a house collapse, as well as several rivers had swelled in the Indian state of Uttarakhand. Around 50 people went missing following multiple incidents of cloudburst in North India's Himachal Pradesh, with a heavy rain induced flooding there. Residents in Hangzhou have flunked a creek to cool off as the capital city of China's eastern Xinjiang province. It's facing scorching heat. Following the impact of Typhoon Gaime, torrential rains in China have killed at least 30 people and left dozens more missing. Experts have discovered that tropical glaciers have shrunk to their smallest size in more than 11,700 years. Unfortunate news. The study further revealed that the tropics have already warmed past limits last seen earlier in the Holocene age. Amphibious vehicles cruised on Amsterdam's canals on Thursday in the closing event of the 5-day tour of several Dutch cities. Northwest China's Gansu province kicked off the 4th Hot Air Balloon Festival. The festival included 6 air shows, where 36 hot air balloons provided a spectacular display against the backdrop of the site's unique landscape. A pair of giant pandas celebrated their birthdays at the Moscow Zoo in a festive spirit. During the giant panda's birthday event, children participated in an art workshop also on the zoo's central alley. An amendment to Hong Kong's wildlife protection law took effect on Thursday, banning the feeding of wild animals in the country. Female artists from the Amazonian indigenous Shipibo-Conibo community in Lima, they are making their mark in the world of art by sharing their cultural heritage through beautiful murals. The murals, they are producing typically geometric patterns that depict their vision of the world. The indigenous Bolivians honored Pachamama, the goddess of the earth, as well as fertility, on the day of Mother Earth. In the tradition which extends from the north of Argentina and Chile through Peru and Bolivia, believers go to high places to burn ritual tables to thank goddess Pachamama. Signs of life have emerged at the base of Britain's Sycamore Gap tree, a much-loved landmark that was cut down last year in an act of vandalism. The tree was photographed by tourists from around the world and also known as the Robin Hood tree, after featuring in the 1991 film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. A special exhibition on the ancient Liangzhu ruins in China opened in Luxor in Egypt on Thursday. The exhibition offers audiences an immersive digital experience of ancient Chinese civilization. The 77th edition of the annual art festival Edinburgh International Festival with the theme of rituals has kicked off on Friday. The month-long art festival presents large-scale music, theatre, opera and dance. Actors Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter will join hands to work in a Broadway production of Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot in 2025. Kevin Costner's Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 2 is set to world premiere at the Venice Film Festival in September. Actress Mandy Moore is likely to return to the beloved Princess Diaries franchise. The Universal Pictures, they have acquired the rights to pop icon Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, with Wicked director John M. Chu and the producer Mark Platt. The film producer Janet Yang has been re-elected as the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for a third time. Actor and film producer Matt Damon is collaborating with his Oppenheimer co-star and Ben Affleck's brother Casey Affleck for Doug Liman's upcoming heist film, The Instigators. Ted Lasso actor Hannah Waddingham will lend her voice to Tiddler, an animated special all set to air on Christmas. Lieutenant Governor of India's Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, on Thursday inaugurated the J&K Film Conclave 2024 in Srinagar. Veteran actor Anupam Kher has kick-started the shoot of his highly anticipated movie, The India House, marking it as his 542nd film. The Bollywood star Karthik Aaryan has recently starred in the Chandu Champion, has wrapped up shooting of his upcoming film Bhool Bhulaiya 3rd. The Indian archers Dheeraj Bommadevara and Ankita Bhakat, they defeated the Indonesian pair 5-1 to reach the quarterfinals of the archery mixed team event at Paris. India's bronze medalist shooter Manu Bhaker has qualified for the 25-meter pistol women's final after finishing second. Isha Singh failed to qualify after finishing in the 18th position. Tulika Man, the lone Indian judoka at the Olympics, suffered an opening round exit after the 78-plus kg event. She lost to Cuba's Idales Ortiz. India beat Australia 3-2 in the final men's hockey Pool B match of the Paris Olympics 2024. After the third quarter, Abhishek and Harmanpreet Singh scored crucial goals for India. The Indians' lone badminton player in the Paris Olympics, Lakshya Sen, is going to play the men's singles quarterfinals against the Chinese Taipei's Chao Tien Chen. The Indian Railways has promoted the shooter Swapnil Kosale to the officer on special duty category after the bronze medal was won by him in the 50-meter rifle 3 positions event at the Paris Olympics. The gymnast Simone Biles has won the all-round gymnastics title in Paris for a 6th overall medal at Paris Olympics Biles captured her second gold medal of the Paris Olympics for USA. The IOC spokesperson Mark Adams said that there is no confusion that Khalif is a woman and should be allowed to compete as such. The Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni met the Italian boxer Angelina Carini in Paris and said that the IOC decision to allow Khalif, who's a boxer, to compete doesn't seem fair. Women's doubles pair Jasmine Paolini and Sara Errani of Italy eased past the Czech duo of Karolina Muchova and Linda Noskova. They won 6-3, 6-2 to ensure the first tennis medal for Italy since 1924. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. Hope you've enjoyed watching the 100 top stories in quick time. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.